I woke up feeling like I really don't belong. I can't explain it. When I close my eyes, I see a strange reality. Am I dreaming, or on the edge of remembering? You wake up feeling like you really don't belong. You can't explain it, but when you close your eyes you see familiarity. Are you dreaming, or on the edge of remembering? Hello. Okay, it's been just a disorienting day. Things are making sounds and doing things, and I'm looking for, like, what are you doing and why? As long as it's not something like my teacup just cracking all of a sudden all over my hot plate. That would be a pain. But instead it is a wonderful cup of tea. And we have this bag I've been waiting for. And first part of the review, not bad weight, considering where it's coming from, which God only knows. Okay, I think it's Illinois. So apparently lots of stuff is going to Illinois. They must have a warehouse, because it's not taking like the usual slow boat from China. So there's some stuff I can see already. I'm like, what the hell is that? And that's this. So since it's a what the hell is that, let's open it first. Now, it's supposed to be what looked like a very silky scarf. And, it is. It's in its own bag, which is cloudy. And this is, oh my God, what a deal. All right, guys. We are talking about a real scarf. A real, wow. No, I would not be wearing it this way. In fact, I don't remember the last time I put a scarf over my head unless it was actually raining or very windy. Okay, so let's see, quality. Immediately you see there is a difference between the two sides. However, because it's a thin fabric, when this side was printed, it came through this side just fine, but it doesn't have the finish that, you know, the fabric does on this side. So I'm not sure. It's 100% silk feeling fabric polyester. Whoa, this is almost like George Santos's Jewish. 100% silk feeling fabric polyester. Well, I will tell you what, it's very close. It is silky. It's more like a satin. The colors are good. This is what I was looking for. Some intense color to brighten up a black blouse or a black dress. So I'm very pleased with this. Let's see what this is. Okay, this is the costume jewelry. Now when I say costume jewelry, I knew this was going to be like, obviously not real looking. Too real anyway. Nevertheless, green for my birthday, and this was so cheap. I figured, you know what? A little costume jewelry never hurt. This is supposed to be like a set, if you want to wear it that way. It's a little bit too much for my little hands, so as much as I love the cosplay kind of thing, we are going to do what I originally imagined I would be doing once I got this, and that would be 2 different fingers. And in all likelihood, this one would not get worn because it's like, look at the size of that. One thing about my rings, I've always kept them small and out of my way. For those who've been watching me for years, you know I very rarely wear anything but a pendant. I don't like metal on my skin very much, so I tend not to do much of it. But I got, yeah. Now see, that's plenty big for a little person like me. And this, also I can't imagine the occasion for that, but my birthday is coming up. It'll be St. Patrick's Day. I will probably go out for, I don't know, take myself out to lunch. And if I'm going out, why not go to an Irish pub? So with that in mind, I have stones in this ring that are a beautiful shade of green. So I will have this, and this is more like what I would wear in the city as a weapon. Okay, this is big. This is like, yeah, this is gonna hurt somebody if I even joke with that, which is not my tendency, but yeah. Okay, so that was fun. Now that was, I'm gonna check the prices on everything, but I know everything was very, very inexpensive. Now this is something I need, and I figured the price was worth taking a chance. It might be useful, it might not be. This is just Goodness, look at these bags I'm going to have to put things in. Cool. There's another one. All right, so this is cuttable acupressure for your feet. So you can fit it into your shoes. Now, because I happen to need a lift under my right heel, I figured, well, what the hell? The lifts are $8, and they're just nothing but a little bit of felt with glue on the back, so why not? We'll see. Maybe this will help. Okay, so that, and this is what I've been waiting for. This is what, if I get one good brush out of these, it's worth this entire bag. That is how good a deal this looks like it may have been. And the only way to know is to get up close and personal. And take them all out. Look at that. Oh my God. All right. Just to preface it without giving you an exact price quote, this package and these two together, each one was less than $1.25. All right. Now, these are like sign brushes. They are so amazing. What do they sell these for? They sell these for doing gel nails. Look at the size of those. Now, why are these so cheap? Number 1, 2, and 3, which apparently is the length, not the thickness. These are super fine for doing little hair brushes. The thing is, these wear out super fast. So I already know that, like, while cool, we'll get one use probably for each one of those. These will probably be close to the same, but I might be able to get a little bit more use out of these. Oh, beautiful. Oh, nice. Oh, gosh. Mr. Rich is going to bed early. Okay. Wow, early. Sleep well. And this is hard to do. Sweet dreams. Okay, back to these. Look at that. These are gorgeous. They're cheap as hell. They're made to be disposable, clearly. And of course, I would expect that in a public setting. You can't really sterilize these. It's hair. In the process of exposing them to that kind of heat, you're going to destroy them. And now this is super cool. Look at that. A fan. 2 fan brushes. Are they crappy little brushes? Of course they are, but I will be able to get something out of these. Okay. Look at these. Oh my goodness. All right, so that one, definitely a crappy little brush. Not even used. I can tell it's poorly cut. Poorly cut, but get some use out of that. More that are like this. Oh yeah, look at that. In fact, it's same family. Nice little flat brushes. Lots of sizing in them. See that, even with sizing, look, that's complete crap. It's, yeah, that's total crap. Let's throw that in the water. Oh, that's actually nicely done. That's nicely done. Of course, I can see the way it leans. Once the water removes the sizing from it, that's going to go berserk. But I definitely got more than my money's worth out of these. So for about $2.30 at the most, $2.30 for all of these brushes. Totally worth it. Are they high end? Of course not. They're not high end. I knew they were not high end, but neither are the ones that I get at Walmart. And I pay $5 for 4 brushes like this at Walmart, or similar to this. So, la-di-da, we will go through them, use them, and we don't have to feel bad when we have to throw them away, because that's a problem I always have with brush dyes, and I just can't seem to part with it. It must have been from all those poverty years with not having art supplies. But I have some of these brushes since 1985. So they're a good brush will last. These are not made to last at all. Disposable for the nail decorating industry. Isn't it wonderful? I know people don't like to think of it this way if they're trying to make more money, but it really is wonderful that we, as we go on, more and more of us who have done things and gotten good at things as hobbies, and just because we love doing it, we can actually make money at it. But then people, unfortunately, if they don't decide to jump on it as a business and somebody else does, they feel kind of, I've been doing that and they're making money and I'm not. When you're inspired, that's when you're supposed to act. Thinking about it is great for helping you bring it into position to become a reality, but if you don't take action, nothing happens. Okay, so this brush is like immediately into the garbage, unless I can use this as a stippling brush, which does come in handy. But the rule now is if I keep one for stippling, I have to throw away one that I have been using for stippling, because I only have so much room, and I've already got like, well, brushes for all kinds of different things, so I can't give one up. I think I gave some up knowing these were coming. Well, I doubt this is going to be useful. Goodbye. All right, let's see what else we have. This is what I was waiting for. Well, the brushes were number 1, actually. But when I saw these for an incredibly good price, like, let's check one out. That's like craft fair price when I go to the stone shows. That's where I thought it was, yeah. Oh, Don't waste your time. All right, check it out. We have a new girl to add to the crystal lineup. And it is exactly what I thought it was. This is so hard to photograph because the way it's faceted down the side, you see, if this moves at all, it just becomes like white light for the camera lens. You have to have it very still and usually like sitting down. I said, yeah, that's what I want. Now, this is the coolest thing. Look at the bottom, looking into the crystal. And it came with nicely faceted, interesting rainbow. They must have been short something because they threw a couple of dark blue here that don't belong. There's no purple, I see. Okay, it doesn't matter. I wasn't getting it for the rainbow crystals. I was getting it for the crystal. So let's take a look at what this cost. Because this is not bad. Even though it is glass. Just show me my package. Even though it's glass, it's a heavy glass. It's nice. It's it almost has the feel of leaded glass, but they don't say it's leaded glass. Now in this country, I mean, that would be an awesome thing. That would mean it's worth way more than I paid. However, they might think that calling it leaded glass, considering our anger about glass in lead, I mean lead in glass that being used for like drinking glasses you can't do or shouldn't do. But you can use it in decorations. You're not going to be sitting there sucking on these things. This is a piece of glass. You hang it up. So, let me look at my order. I know I got it. I know. Just show me my order, please. I want to get the price. I know what I recently searched for. I'm looking for tiny glass beads. I'd like to find something 2mm, but they have to be really bright glass. It disappeared. Don't track it. I just want to see it. What are they doing to me? Now, on Toblerina on Facebook, I know I get the feeling like I'm getting older and older using Facebook. Okay, I know what it is. I know where it is. I'm opening it. I'm opening it right now. Okay. But let's continue. I guess we'll just have to struggle with this afterward. I hope that this is good. I got basically what I'm going to assume for the price is sample sizes of vanilla and patchouli oil. And this was, I think, the most expensive thing. And it's a blouse. It's a nude top with which I can wear this scarf if I want. Let's take a look at the top. Oh, that's cute. I know. I need to add some color to my wardrobe. But I've got some, my other black tops are just kind of, they're so cheap. They're looking cheap now. And, oh, it's going to have to be washed. All right, let's see what material it's made out of. Now, this is the first thing I've had that has smelled badly. Everything else I've gotten has been fine. 65% cotton, 35% polyester. So because the cotton, I'm going to guess that what I'm smelling is sizing. So, as I always recommend, wash clothes before you wear them. Because one of the most popular chemicals they use is the same thing they embalm people with. And that's to basically keep everything in size while they're turning it into a garment. Keep it looking nice until someone starts washing and wearing. Okay. Well, that was fun. That was exciting. But now, the smell test. I've been wanting this for a long time. And when I saw it for a couple dollars, I was like, for that size, that's a nice sample of a decent something. Okay, here we go. All right. That shirt was the most expensive item I got. It was $10.69. The scarf was $6, $5.99. The jewelry, $2.51. $2.49, $2.09. I got a turban for our wonderful assistant manager. She doesn't have any hair right now. She's going through chemo. Let's see, the foot thing, $1.69, $1.13, and $1.16, respectively, for the 2 packages of whatchamacallit. So the crystal is $2.09. Take that, Swarovski. Beautifully cut. And can I get this open? Yeah, all right. This was how much? $2.49. Look at the packaging for $2.50. This is like gift worthy. Premium grade, 100% pure plant essential oil. And they specified this is the real patchouli, because there is a fake patchouli. You have to know your plants. Oh my God, that's the real deal. Oh my God, they didn't leave room to put this in? Mamma mia. Oh, you assholes. Okay, well, I know better for the vanilla. And I'm grateful for keeping rags by. Well, I wasn't prepared to put some of this on, but I had other plans. That was surprising. Also, that's a first. And I really shouldn't complain. After all, that means they really filled this sucker up. Now, here we go. Did that pick any up? No? Okay. That's potent. Wow. Right. Experiment number 1. Whoop, see? All right, that's enough. That was 2. Hello, Charlie. All right, now I'm doing fine. Just fine. How you? How y'all? I slapped myself in the face with that. No, it's gonna have to need something. What is it? Maybe amber. Well, I am glad it was cheap. It doesn't smell like cheap, but it does not, especially the way it's packaged. This is not cheap packaging. It's beautifully packaged, but it's not what I'm looking for. Keep them safe. I don't know. I am going to get rid of this. I'll be right back. I'm running out of room behind my desk here. And I am going to go wash the excess oils off. Well, this was one of the things in the order. And a shirt I threw in the laundry already. A scarf I also threw in the laundry. Those 2 oils. can have a licorice toffee. Did you see my doodle? No. Where would I see your doodle? Did you email me something? I haven't checked email in like a week. I mean, I haven't checked Call Me Gail in email. Oh, and I got this jewelry. Oh, okay. Oh my God. Holy shit. I'm gonna have to log in online and get rid of some of this stuff. I've got over 200 emails sitting there. Bro, what? Oh, that's cool. Can't read what you said, but the doodle's cool. Looks almost musical. Okay, see you when you be. I have unsubscribed from rugs.com multiple times. And yet I keep getting mail from rugs.com. Unsubscribe. Thank you. We'll see how well that works. Ah. This is great. Yeah. We got a big problem with Hillsdale. Wow. Really bad people. Really bad people. They're calling themselves a college. I wonder what else they teach there. I would like to, as I unsubscribe, also say fuck you, but I'm afraid that's not going to work. They had me signed up for like 10 publications. They're far right. far right, hateful assholes. Okay. So why? Oh, I brought this out to look at your doodle. That's why I brought this out. I'm going, why do I have my Kindle out here when I'm on YouTube? This is for the Twitch show. Let's get it out of my way. Okay. Now, I don't think I can actually reach this. Ouch. Well, we know I can't see what I'm walking into. All right. It's up there. A little short, but I can put it on another thread. Hit the start. It's up there to catch the light, even though you can't see it with this camera. It's up here. I'm pointing to it, up there. Okay, well, and while I'm down here, I'll have some more of my tea. Okay, that goes pretty good with licorice. All right, what do we have? What do we have? We have the splash painting from last night. Okay. I don't know what to do with this. You know, I'm not... Metallics have that weird thing. They reflect light, and usually when you are working with them, you have to consider them like a darker... dark, because something that's a mirror can reflect something dark, and that's... You have to think of it as something that's dark when you're planning your colors. There's a word for what I was trying to say, but I forgot. It's like my aunt and I trying to have a conversation today. She's 91, and I think we're about the same level of forgetting names and stuff like that. It's like, oh, yeah, you know, but in the time it takes me to try and remember something, I may as well just move on and remember something new. What on earth? School buses. Well, hello. Okay. Ah, there we go. It was interesting to see how things reacted when they were soaking. Like the gold that dried up turned right back into liquid when it was just sitting in water. Copper, some of it did, some of it didn't. So apparently there's some shellac in it, or something like shellac. And the black was mixed with acrylic, so it peeled off, and where it was thinner it cracked off. So that too was fun. Well, it looks like this is just begging for something. What's cool is from one angle it looks really flat and colorful. See all the copper. But from the other, it's like it's transparent and really the canvas shows through too well. So how about this? Makes me think of actually a Californian mountain range, but we're not going to be doing that because I need to drop more color on here, and I don't like how dull I got. And then that ran the gold off. I didn't expect that to happen. So I think we're going to do some of this first. Okay. Oh yeah, I got a newsletter from my old hospital. And I used to belong to WellSpan down in York, Pennsylvania. They've got an amazing hospital, WellSpan Memorial, I think it is, or York Memorial. Anyway, it's York, Pennsylvania Memorial Hospital, and they have, they're really like leaders for cardiac care, which was great because when I did have a cardiac problem, that's where I ended up. So even though I'm not there anymore, and I don't know why I'm still getting their newsletter, I've got to see about that. It did tell me something that was what I predicted years ago, that they're now able to do with arteries that are too stiff to operate on. They can break up the plaque and send it out the same way they break up kidney stones, using vibration. And what have we been talking about but vibration? And in 1983, I predicted, because I was writing the first Namara story then, for the story, I predicted that the future would heal through vibration and no more radiation or chemo, because once you figure out the right vibration to change things, that's it. You don't need to keep treating something once it's fixed. Now, I noticed some of the stuff, the way I layer it, and most likely because of chemistry. Welcome back. There's going to be a chemical reaction component to the design because of what I mixed together. Now, this was discovered a long time ago, and that's why you see people doing pores, acrylic pores, and using heat and glycerin and alcohol and all kinds of stuff to make the paints do weird things. When I worked with oil paint, we used turpentine. You could spray turpentine on, throw it on with the paintbrush, you would make it do cool stuff. And with watercolor, it was salt. But you could also use sand. Anything would make the water element, and with whatever pigment it picked up, kind of pucker around that because of surface tension. So, yeah, cool stuff. Okay, the gold is having a bit of a reaction to this medium, which I like. But it also means that I periodically have to stop and let things dry a little bit so I can work on top of them. So Charlie, how was your day? How were your teleclasses? I see. It occurred, and you haven't contained no memory or feeling about it. It just was. And if that's all it was, it's best to let it go. Some days are like that. Oh, I better let this sit for a few, and then I can come back in. Otherwise, I'm just gonna mess this up. Not that it's anything great at the moment, anyway. This is last night's splash. So far. Yeah, that's how I feel about my chores. And today's grocery delivery. I got something I really love, and I can't eat it for a couple of days. I got panko breaded butterfly shrimp. Throw a half a dozen of those in the air fryer, and it's like, whoa, good. Of course, the first bag I bought was on sale for half the price I just paid, but it went so far that I figured it was worth the price. It'll last me a month. Which classes did you have today? You think I would break out the hair dryer, but to tell you the truth, I'm not really sure where it is right now. It's somewhere around here, under the bed or in the closet. I know it's not under the bathroom sink. I was in there today. English, physical education, and maths. Ugh. How'd you do PE? That is phys ed, right? How do you do that on a teleclass? They do. You turn cameras on, and you're supposed to do it, but you don't. You watch them do exercises on camera. Oh. Oh, cool. What was your presentation on? Oh. It was the fact that that's what you did? Using a DM? Yeah, your handwriting is very poetic, kind of musical. It's, it's more artsy, an art form. It's difficult on the eye, I will say that. If that's a sample that I got with the your doodle, it looks like you've really worked at it. No, I would say probably not. Not at this date. Charlie, just remember one thing. You will have your whole life ahead of you to be everything you want to become. The purpose of school is just to get your ass out of there with the grades you need to go forward. That's all. So play the game. That's all it is. You just don't see it because it's a pain in the ass. But yeah, it's just a game. You gotta play the rules. If you want to take that and have something to go with you when you leave. Well, when you're saying write the way you do, are you referring to the way you phrase or the way you actually write, your penmanship? Two different things. Yeah, that is terrible. That's poor communication. Sorry, it's just like overly complex sentences are boring to the mind and the eye. And frankly, when I see something like that, I don't even bother, to be honest. Yeah, it is your fault. It's completely your fault. It's totally your fault. The writer's fault, not the reader. You're failing to communicate effectively. You think that by having all of this blah, blah, da, 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 like you're a lawyer is impressive on some level, but it's not. It's annoying as fuck all. So keep that in mind. Other people don't enjoy it for good reason. It's not because they have a problem keeping up with you. If I force myself, I can get through a sentence. It's just that you go back and forth on yourself until it's like you obfuscate everything. It's like you make things so much more difficult than they need to be. You need to remember that most people read on an 8th grade level, and that's not your responsibility, but if you do want to be understood by the masses, you have to write to the reader. You don't get without a PhD behind your name, you don't get the freedom to write like that and expect people to bend to your will. All that's going to do is frustrate you because the world is not here to please you. It's not impressive. You're impressed by yourself, which really is a warning to you, or should be. You don't write that's not a toddler making yourself understood. When you make things difficult like that, all right, even if that's just a natural flow of your brain, you're not using self-discipline. And that's the bottom line there. You're not using self-discipline as a writer, and it's a poor communication issue. regardless. Regardless. Communication is communication. It's not the time to show off how long a sentence you can write with correct punctuation and grammar. When a sentence is cumbersome, every good writer is going to scratch it or break it down so that the reader can understand the point. If you lose them on the way to the end of the train station, you have lost your point, and your effort to communicate is completely wasted. It doesn't matter. For one or a million, communication is communication. You just, because you're feeling stubborn about this one situation, because it's a teacher, and you got called out. You got called out. Live with it. You didn't want to be, and you know, well, it could be your opinion, but I'm right. You're not the teacher. You know the rules. You break them, and then you expect everybody else to just understand. And that's just not the way the world works. The world works like you try to find ways to cooperate. That's what teachers are for. That's true. So is your goal to get a bad grade? Is that what would feel good? Or would getting a good grade feel good? You can get into this bad groove and keep that momentum up and attract more of that into your life, which will suck. Or you can get a grip and see where it's an ego issue and not really a literary one. You did something, you knew what you were doing. You're too bright not to have known. So please, you can't bullshit me. They just have to be more polite with you because they're your teachers. I don't. Having some character is not the same as intentionally making yourself more obscure. You stand out as an individual no matter what anyway, so you don't have to make an extra effort for that. The effort of every good writer is to be understood. If you're not understood, no one's going to want to read your stuff. And if you want to be read, which is the desire of most people who write, you start off writing for yourself. And I would not say, like, change everything about yourself so to please the reader. Yes, you reach a certain level of writing, then there will be people who will rise to that. That's not where you're at. You're 17 and you are still learning. All right? You're not a master of grammar nor punctuation, by the way. You still make terrible sentences that are boring as fuck all to read. And even if you're fascinated with them yourself, it doesn't speak for the rest of the world. You're just interested in your own brain. No, it's not at all. You are one fucking student. She's got lots of students. You're dealing with one teacher, one issue. She's got lots of students with lots of issues. And you're just not making life any easier for her. You're not making any friends there, you know? Like, oh, I don't care, blah, blah, blah. I'm leaving school. You are. But she's got to stay behind and take care of another batch of assholes like you. Oh, I don't want that. I want to do it my way. Well, this class is asking you to learn how to do it this way. When you're off on your own, do it any way you want. Right in the dark, put a flashlight up your ass. I don't care. When I want a paper handed in, I expect it to be handed in the standard way, not some creative-ass way that you chose to do it to be different and be intentionally annoying. You did it on purpose. You knew what was asked of you. You decided not to do it. So, you know, you can go on and on and on. It doesn't matter, Charlie. You're demanding something of a teacher who her job is to demand of you. Your job is to do the assignments. Your job is to get the grade and then get out of school. No, not so she can have her job so you can graduate with a decent grade. Your job is to be a good student. Her job is to have to deal with lots of kids. Your lack of empathy will get you nowhere in life. I'll tell you that right now. But honestly, your writing style, yeah, and eventually you could be a good writer. That you're not writing about anything. You're just running around in circles and it's really not interesting. So when you come up with a subject you want to write on, and you're well educated on that subject, then yeah, use your style with 26 commas in a sentence. Yeah, unique is not the same as impossible to read. Oh, look at me, I am so standing out. Your ego is talking, but your grades aren't. But it's not up to me to teach you. The world will do that for you eventually. Your future bosses, future relationships will all basically teach you. You always stand out. You don't have to make an extra effort with 26 commas in a sentence. And your handwriting is interesting, but it's also there's a flowery aspect to it. It's like you're trying to do an illustrated manuscript. A lot of roundness, which is interesting. I don't listen to anybody when it comes to painting, but painting is definitely subjective. When it comes to my writing, that's different. I want to make sure when people read my books, they get it. I don't want them sitting there having to struggle to get a point. Especially when some things can be said in just a few words and have more impact that way instead of boring the eye. Especially in a world right now of, but that doesn't matter. You have to write to your own taste. But you're not writing anything right now. You're just working on something. You're not writing a novel. And you're still in high school. Well, I would hope so, because what's the sense in writing if people can't read it? It may as well be in code. Which is, of course, a good thing when you have a diary. And that is not there. Not right there. I'm going to have to cover that up. I guess the greens go there anyway. What are you doing? What do you think you're doing? You knew what you were doing. I don't have to explain it to you. Yeah. Oh, please. You know what you did. She asked for something. Instead of making a normal document to hand in the assignment, you put it in a text, in a DM. Nobody does that, Charlie. Nobody does that. Then she had to copy and paste it, open up a document, create a document that you were supposed to hand it in the first place. So you know what you did, and that's what started this. So please. You just don't want to take responsibility for having done that in the first place when you knew it would be an irritant. You knew it would be irritating. Nobody likes to get their reports or anything like that in a fucking DM. That's not professional. It's not student grade even. So I understand exactly why she was annoyed, and I just don't understand why you don't. It should be really obvious to you. Yeah, I think you meant it kind of like jokingly, but you know it was the wrong thing to do. That's the whole point. Instead of arguing on behalf of yourself, you can just go ahead and admit you did a wrong thing and apologize. Question. Have you ever once been instructed, or have you ever, without being instructed, handed in an assignment via text message? So are you saying that this is all a vast misunderstanding? Are you telling me you've been all this time you've been sending her stuff in text messages? A message. Okay. That's right. You've got an official platform. That's fair enough. Man, that's really stubborn. Oh. Well, that's fair. And why was it different this time? What made it different that she had to open up a document? Why was that the misunderstanding part? That she expected this to be handed in? Wow. Well, it is a modern world. It gets thick, it doesn't want to come off the brush. Okay. Okay, so it's probably right there where that break occurred. A little hostility was born. Uh-oh. Did I take that pill? I must have. Do we really want to beat this up even more? It's really annoying now. I want to move on to some happier topics. I don't want to keep magnifying your issue with the teacher. Ugh. Well, that's good, because that class is not her only class. She's got lots of things to have to juggle. Most teachers do. Excuse me. Exie. The man of many names. Oh, I'm messing with this last night's last minute splash and trying to decide what to do with it. If it's silhouette, then I don't really need to use very much color in the trees. It doesn't matter anymore. It's over. Let's move on. Exie. Well, the bottom line is always going to come down to this. Do you want to be happy or not? If you want to be happy, then let go of the petty little shit and move on. Focus on the stuff you want to get done. Focus the future. Focus. If you focus on the past, even if it was yesterday, yesterday's already dead. And the energy devoted to it is a waste of energy. This is good over here. Right there. The copper and gold together. Good. Yeah, you keep thinking that way and your life will be miserable. I definitely do not list enemies. I don't have any. I have people I won't get involved with, but I don't consider anybody my enemy. I mean, nobody I know personally. I wouldn't be inviting like a Putin over to my house for lunch, you know? All right, gotta let this dry or it's just gonna be a mess. Happy is a state that when you practice it long enough, you get pulled out, of course, because we do have contrast on this planet. So we're going to be feeling the contrast. But the more you sit in that contrast, after a very short time, it's not a good idea anymore. You have to move on. You have to work at creating and attracting everything you really want, not the stuff that's giving you contrast. All right, now we have the blackout. We may as well continue. Only, I'm not going to be using India ink. I don't think. Let's see if this works. Where's my Pigma pen? No one will have an objective discussion about it. They just have their points of view, of course, and you do too, which you never deviate from. So it's useless to argue when theirs lines up with yours and it's not genuine. Why would it not be genuine when they line up with you? You're very critical, Charlie. You'll have to grow out of that. So, Exy, what's going on with you? What's going on? Is it election day? I did not see any international news today. I actually was watching a special on earthquakes and what's coming next in our country. Well, that's good. You have to be able to apologize when you're wrong. No, I want to know why Exy has to keep up with the news. Something is going on in Turkey. It does work. Good. Okay, we can use this instead of a paintbrush. So is that what you're watching? Is there something else going on besides that? Uh-oh, used to. That doesn't sound good. 70 days to an election. I'll have to catch up on the news, huh? Oh, well, that sounds good news. I mean, that's what you want, right? Or do I have it backwards? Yeah, there's been so much going on here. I have not had a chance to look at the rest of the world. Oh, good. Okay. That's what I needed to know. Yay. Well, let's hope it just stays that way. People need to work together. Should I use that? Well, I can use that as a guideline. Oh, I am going to need paint. I have to make some of these windows lit up. Uh-huh. Well, how long is the term? 20 years? I haven't seen anything yet. How come you haven't popped up? It's Instagram, right? Oh, okay. Is that a new name of yours? Let's see. Ah, okay. It is you. Interesting choices. All right. Am I not following you? Follow back. There we go. All right. Gotcha. Oops, shit. I just lost YouTube. Come back, YouTube. There you go. Okay. Well, it's like Toblerina. Nobody calls me Toblerina and should not call me Toblerina. Oh, that's cute. Very tiny windows there. Here they are. Yeah, we're gonna need something to make them stand out. I don't have any white marker. I do have white gel pen. I don't know if it'll take to that though. Let's see. Okay. Oh, wait a second. I got a gold too. Gold notebook. All right, let's see. Where's my papers? Oh, it's foam. No, those are other things. Ah, I knew I'd have a piece somewhere. When I get all the windows done, this is not going to be cooperative, is it? I'll be able to take a picture with the sunglasses and cat ears on. That'll be so cute. All right, we'll just leave that upside down for a while, see if that helps. Meantime, let's see how the gold works. Ah, that works very nicely. That's a nice one too, not as sparkly. We'll go with the one that flows better if it does sparkle more, but Let's see what happens. All right. Oh, wait. Good luck. Good luck. See you soon. Looking forward to seeing your work. Have a good night, honey. Okay, we're gonna have to switch back and forth with those. Yeah, then we go a little bit bigger. Uh-oh. It does not dry fast, that's for sure. All right, gotta watch it. I am doubtlessly wearing gold ink on me. I am going to guess it's a combination depending on the moment. Some stuff is just, you're a teenager in school. And you have to respond to the status quo. And you're not an average person, so of course there's going to be lots of points where you're not going to feel like you fit in. Or your point of view is not appreciated. Or even understood at times. But that is part of being a teenager. Part of the whole high school experience is about getting used to being in those kinds of situations, because people don't get smarter after they leave high school. And people who were bullies in school usually continue to be bullies for a while until someone else kicks their ass. Or life kicks it for them. I mean, I've seen lots and lots of cases where people can be real assholes in their teens and 20s, and then by the time they're in their mid-30s, they're very different people. So it just depends, Charlie, on the exact subject matter. That's why it's important not to dwell too much on shit like that. Yes, on one hand, you want to know how the brain is working, how you're working, what your perceptions are, and it's good to question all of it, but there does come a point with all that too, that it's like becomes circular and you got to just shut it off. It's not getting anywhere. Well, that's what you are. You are a teenager, and in many ways, of course, you're going to fit in just because you're with your peers, but there's going to be places where you're ahead of the crowd and places where you're behind others. It's just the nature of things, you know. We're definitely not created equal in that way. We all have different preferences, and the older you get, the more preferences you'll develop. But that's one of the things that school is good for right now. It's showing you things, so you develop contrast where you can say, I don't like this, I like this. And that's how your future is going to be created depending on your likes and dislikes and how much energy you apply to them. As I said, don't waste too much energy on what you don't like. Don't try to justify things. It's like, some things are just crazy. Some things are just bizarre. They've got nothing to do with you, but you're going to be subjected to those circumstances. And that's just the way it is. The faster you just go, okay, fine. Don't get ruffled and keep moving. And then you'll be the one that's the victor in the end. That you'll see. You have a whole long life to live, honey. And nobody learns everything at once. Where we get mad at ourselves the worst is when we repeat a mistake, which luckily doesn't happen with smart people that often. But eventually you'll find yourself like, oh my God, how did I miss that? Been there, done that, and here I did it again. Oh, there's always someone out there, no matter how old you are. There's always someone who's going to want to critique your life, your work, your writing, your art. It doesn't matter. None of that matters at all. At all. The less you listen to other people's opinions, the better you'll be. Because their opinions aren't creating you. They're not creating your future unless you do something like what happened to poor Rob. He heard a rumor that put a big dent in his self-esteem. And now that was a big setback to hear. Somebody might think that you're boring and not understanding where that comes from, because when you're a teenage boy, you don't know shit about teenage girls and how bitchy they are. Oh, sure, there's nice girls. I was a nice girl. But I was a nice girl. I had to defend myself against some of those bitchy girls. Because they're all around. Girls go through different things. I don't know, maybe I'm thinking mostly American girls, because those are the only ones I knew. All different nationalities, by the way. Just New York public schools. It takes all kinds, you meet all kinds. And if you're going to be a creative, you got to develop your thick skin as fast as you can. You got to keep reminding yourself, unless they're criticizing something that you have to admit is reasonable, or we don't have to admit, but it just depends on what the subject is, Shirley. There'll be lots of things that you'll agree with and lots you won't. I mean, that's just a generalization that applies for everyone. But have faith. As time goes on, you will develop wisdom. You know, you will have experiences, and those experiences will teach you lessons, and from that lesson will grow wisdom. And it's just, it takes time. It's not you're born with anything, you know. You're born very close to being an empty bowl. Right. I know. But sometimes that is not well understood, because adults look at teenagers as being generally argumentative because they never let go of it. They get a point they want to make and they do not let go of that. The problem is that you and adults, teenagers and adults, do not speak the same language. Imagine how bad it was in the 60s when young people, like, when the Beatles hit, you know, and all that. People developed their own hippie language that was so foreign to our parents. I was like, I understand. It was like, what do you say when your kid takes this posture and makes these signs and talks in words that, what do you mean? So communication takes skill, takes practice. You gotta learn how to do it. Ugh, how am I gonna get through so much of that tomorrow? Ugh. Absolutely. Justin! Exactly. We do speak a different dialect and are a product of our time. I remember my mom telling me, you know, some of the reactions, and I watched my grandmother. My grandmother was from one of the old countries. English was her newest language, and she spoke that the worst. So her trying to raise an American bunch of kids who were learning English, of course, at a very rapid rate, because that's where they were born. Well, except my eldest, my uncle Harry, the nuclear physicist. He was born in Poland. And they escaped the Holocaust with him. Agnes, there you are. Oh, yeah, of course, all of that counts. All of it. Now Justin is speaking in third person, right? I'm talking about me and my mother and my grandparents. Every generation, their kids are speaking a different language or different vernacular, whatever's going on at the time. Just like when I was growing up, we never would have, when we said the word dope, we were talking about heroin specifically. That's what it was. And then dope came to mean more. And then suddenly I heard pot referred to as dope. That upset me. It's like, no. Do not confuse weed with dope. Dope is what you syringe up. Weed is what you poof. understand, Orion. You are from outer space, after all. I jest. No, I get it. That are meant to give off what? I, streamer. You may address me by my name, fetus. Yeah, sometimes you are. But not just an angsty teenager, but there is definitely stuff that you come out with that's very teenager. The way you argue is very teenager. And I know exactly what you're doing because you sound so much like I did when I was your age. So I recognize it. But I don't say you're just an angsty teenager. There's no just being angsty. You get that stuff because you're suffering. Because you're a teenager and it sucks being a teenager and not having any power. So I get that. When you don't have these problems. I don't have those problems anymore. What makes you think I didn't? Haven't you heard me talk about my father's 2-hour lectures? Because my father never spoke to me for under 2 hours when he had some point to get across. My ass would go numb sitting on top of the doghouse, literally the doghouse, listening as he held court in the bedroom. So, yeah, I get it. I totally get it. I, too, was a bright, misunderstood child, but I had things I was going through that, thank God, you do not have to ever go through. Because I would definitely hate that for you and anybody else. Nevertheless, I persisted because I'm a bitch who knows her worth. Now, if there's a pause in my speaking, make sure you type it because I'm counting squares here. A little edgy. Give you an example. I didn't suggest that you were misunderstood. Matter of fact, you're acting like you are misunderstood right now. I said that you argued like a typical teenager. Or I said something like that. But I am saying that now. You argue like a teenager. And I'm not saying that there's anything inherently wrong with that. I used to be one. Although there was a point I did learn when to keep my mouth shut, which is as important as learning when to open it. Maybe more so. Because, you know, you have to know. Right now, I just want you to give me an example of how I argue like a teenager. You're doing it right now, exactly. You're demanding me to give you an answer, without even taking into consideration whether I feel inclined to answer you or continue this discussion about what makes you what you are. You're a teenager. There are times you sound and you're arguing just like a teenager over and over and over. There you go, over and over and over. Like, there's the example. Read back on the last 20 things you've written and you'll see what I'm talking about right there. But then again, from your POV, you probably can't, and it's okay. You will be able to see it better when you are twice your age. And also, I'm not saying that's a terrible thing. You can only do what you can with what you've got right now. You are who you are right now. You can't be something else, and you don't have to try to be anything but what you are. Well, yeah, that is a prerogative. But I'm saying, this is exactly how you argue, You know, if you want to go back to when this whole conversation started and you see over and over and over again, it's like, okay, I do follow the conversation. But you'll also go back and see where you were talking about how you wrote something which you're proud of. It had 26 commas in one sentence. I think you understand. I hope you understand the point I'm making. Now, I will tell you this, and it's something I know. Justin here is an extremely bright person. I could have just as well used a less forceful word, right? Look, I'm not upset, okay? I'm just saying. You going on and on to make the same point over and over and over, it's really teenager. Especially because what's the point of my show when I talk, aside from a chit chat? What is it I'm always trying to get across to you guys? Don't get stuck in the thought. Yeah, things stand out to you, things you're going to notice, but if they don't make you happy to talk about or think about, then drop it, because you're not helping yourself. And I know it's not helping me, because it doesn't interest me and it doesn't elevate my mood. If my mood is not elevated, I don't feel creative, and I'm here to be creative. So that's my point for me doing the stream. Now, I don't like to sit and argue. And, you know, you just went through this whole thing as a teenager in school. And it's partially because you're a teenager, but mostly because you're a teenager in school. And you're limited in what you can do and how you can respond without getting a reaction that's going to bring a rise out of you. But how interesting do you think that is to everybody who's not in high school anymore? If you get my drift. It is time to clean your belt. You're speaking fine. No. It's not like your individual sentences sound teenager. You sound like an adult. And I have complimented you on your vocabulary before. So you must at least feel I have some respect for your intellect. Exactly. You would not have this problem if you weren't in school. And that's the whole point, that you're in school and there are rules you've got to follow. And you basically know how to get along if you want to. But there are times that, and that's the teenager, that there are things you could do to make things smoother, but they don't happen, or you forget, or it starts to just roller coaster or roll on its own. And then it gets away from everybody and it becomes more of a deal than it needs to be. But if you are just as you are and you were not in school and you were carrying on, and I'm saying carrying on, just going on and on about the same little point, it's not a big thing, and it just gets tedious. It's just inaccurate in some way. I'm not specializing in accuracy and speaking to a 17-year-old. What do you want? I said, go back. Now you can go back like 30 of your writing. Go back, go scroll up and see what you've written. All right? And maybe you'll catch on. I'm not condemning you or anything. I don't know why you have such a great reaction to this. No, I lost what I was doing. There's no reason to not what? I am not interested in the subject matter. I wasn't interested to start. Only thing that interested me was your reaction and what you did. It's like, okay, you're reacting, but this is what you did to bring on that reaction in the first place. Reaction, reaction, reaction. It's been you and the teacher and you and the teacher and you and the teacher. And then you come in here and belabor the whole thing again. So I understand where it's frustrating, but you are in school and that is your job. What always happens is that you're like a dog with a bone. And where I would like to have dropped this 30 sentences ago, it's still going on. I'm not here to talk about your high school stuff. I'm here to talk about me, my work. That's it. You don't have anything to fix. You don't have to fix anything. I understand what you're writing. That's fine. That is fine. I have a goal. I have goals. And I only have so much time. My goal is to finish a lot of paintings to bring them to the gallery, since the gallery is currently interested in hanging my work. So that's my priority, and anything else is just friendly chit-chat. Unless you want to buy one of my paintings. In which case, that's a different subject. By the way, how well do you converse while you're playing chess? Are you capable of having this conversation, typing in here while you are playing chess? Or would you prefer all that stuff be in the background so you don't have to react because you're concentrating on something more interesting and more important to you? This is why when I'm writing stories, I don't broadcast, because I don't want to be distracted from my writing. Is it? Jay Sherman sounds familiar. Right. Exactly my point. So do you understand how I might feel when I'm trying to concentrate on my art while trying to answer your questions? I mean, I'm not trying to cut off conversation, but I can't have an argument, and I'm not going to defend myself about anything, because this is what matters, not your argument or discussion about school. I left school in 1972. Aside from going back to higher education here and there, I have not returned to high school, not even for a graduation ceremony or a reunion. Actually, our high school class was so apathetic, it did not have an actual graduation, nor did it have a reunion until around the 40th year. And of course, by then I was living where I couldn't get to there. Oh, there you go. I have no opinion on it. The critic. Wait a minute, that sounds familiar. I have not seen it. I did not have a television in the 90s. I was living on the farm from 93 on. It was 93. I got married in 93, moved to the farm in 94. It's hard to remember. I've been married so many times. Usually it's hard to keep track of some things because I moved so many times. Especially in the last 6 years. I just realized, where is Oinkness? Did she just come home for the night? Well, I will voice my opinion if you put something in the chat. You have to expect that. That doesn't mean I want to get into a discussion, but if you put something in there, I will give an opinion. Because I do that. Because I'm an opinionated bitch. I don't mind. Of course, I do admit I have changed my opinions about certain things over the years. Because I'm also an educated, opinionated bitch. Well, that's what I thought. I didn't know if she could get reception there. So has your crustacean of a dog client been picked up? My opinion is what my opinion, that's all an opinion is. It doesn't have to be founded or justified. And I don't care if it's challenged. I still don't have to answer it. It's just an opinion. I could, I might. I guess it depends on what you post. And the mood I'm in. And the moment, because the moment matters a lot. It depends on what I have in my hands. Because paint won't wait. But markers can. A little. God, I got 4 more apartment buildings to do. That's not exactly what I was thinking, but it's better than paint. Well, I know, Charlie, when you post something, you can always say, opinion not needed, or unwanted, or opinion desired. You can put that out there right away. So everybody in the room knows what you're open to and what you're not. And if you want a discussion, you should say that. That is, it does, and that's kind of interesting given what an onion does and how we use that to illustrate a many-layered subject. Or getting to know someone. It's like peeling away layers of an onion. I have seen, read it, not Reddit. These windows are getting sloppier. Luckily, Toblerone will not be right in front of these. Okay, we have 4 to go. I have to give my hand a little break here. Yesterday, coloring hurt. Pressing on the pencils to get any color from them. They're not Prismacolor, I'll tell you. We can try that. Yes, that was random. Gee. And I do want to say I appreciate you writing in caps and keeping it from becoming complete paragraphs, which are more difficult to read. Okay. That sounds like a conversation. All right, I gotta take a break for a few minutes. It's been 2 hours and my fingers need to stretch. I don't think that copy and paste is a bad thing at all. It's just timing in place, isn't it? I see in P all the time. I have taught many people how to do that too, including my own mother. That wasn't easy. Some people just don't catch on. Okay, excuse me. Ugh, yeah, tomorrow's gonna be a bitch. I don't know if I'll be able to stream at all. They recommend that you set up camp in the bathroom. Thank you, Orion. All right. I'll be back in just a couple of minutes. Unfortunately, up here I don't have a screen I can put up and say, back, be right back. But I will be RB. The action of turning. Of together. I like what they, I've got to write it down because I cannot remember shit. Big Bang Theory, when Sheldon thought he was screwed and how he described being screwed. Wait, is con in this case against, like contra? Well, see, it's all use. It's all usage, isn't it? The amazing and interesting English language. finally got our heat back. We did. We have heat. Proper heat. That means hot showers again, even though I don't actually take hot showers. Hollywood. Helix of construction of vertical axis. That was it. On a vertical plane. I watched a series called Hollywood. I think it was back in the 50s or 60s. I never saw it. I know about Hollywood Squares, and that's it. I mean, I know I've been in Hollywood. I just don't know the shows named that. Did you watch the whole series? How many seasons was it? Don't you see the gay agent part? No. What gay agent? I see it. It says gay. I'm not being censored. I see it says, don't you see the gay agent part? Love it when YouTube chat censors G-A-Y. But I'm assuming that there's a sentence that did not print for some reason. I don't have anything strong on this for censors. He played the role of a gay agent. Who was it? He who? Oh, okay. Who was he? Though that part did not come in. Oh. I see. Jim Parsons wasn't around in the 50s and 60s. He wasn't born yet. He's way younger than me. I was born in the 50s. Yeah, he's a really good actor. I saw him in The Muppets, where he's kind of like a human Muppet. Matter of fact, he portrays a singing Muppet. Like if the Muppet was a human, that's what he would look like, and it's like, oh my God. If that Muppet was a human, it would be Jim Parsons. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. It's new. What's it on? Is it Netflix or Amazon or Hulu? Because I want to see one that's on Hulu. It's not a series, but History of the World Part 2. Mel Brooks, my hero. Oh no, he's nothing like Sheldon. Thank goodness, who could live with the real Sheldon? Netflix? Oh, cool. I'll check it out. Is it mostly funny? I don't watch dramas anymore. I make sure that everything that goes in here is as much as I can control is happy and uplifting anymore. I don't want anything disturbing in my brain. Oh, a lot of steamy actions. Oh, no, I'm not really into that either. I don't mind participating in steamy actions. I really don't enjoy being a voyeur to them. I'm sure there are. I really did not see how they would do a second one. Even though we were hungry for that comedy, it's hard to see that translating now. Oh, I see. Oh, yeah, Hollywood's famous for that. I had to deal with some of that myself, and I wasn't in Hollywood, I was in New York. The casting couch is for more than actresses, it's for singer-songwriters. You want to open for this band, honey? I can get you that gig. Really? Oh, I see. Goodbye. I'll sing on the street for tips, thanks. Okay, so what do we have going on now? I've been here. Oh, I got up. We got Orion and Charlie. YouTube is quiet today. What else is going on? There must be something going on. Oh, is that what happened with that? I haven't seen the new one. Because the same reason, afraid that it just... The first ones were so unique. They were, gems unto themselves. And the idea of trying to make it go further just... Yeah, I don't even imagine how they would do that with the second Christmas story. I can understand doing it with History of the World Part 2 because that is broken up into skits, where one leads into the next. And it goes all over history. But Christmas Story, I wanted Richard to see that because it's just so perfect. It's so American, Like, you want to see what American Christmas used to look like? This is American Christmas in a nutshell. The cool shit. What's really like growing up as a kid in America. But growing up as a kid in America in the 50s, early 60s. Because I remember the Red Ryder BB gun. I wasn't allowed to have one. Because I was a girl. Not because I would shoot my eye out. They didn't insult me that way. Like I'd be too stupid to know how to aim a gun. Like, yeah, the dangerous end is here, pointed away from you. Obviously. Oh yeah, very Americana. I mean, I've been in houses like that. It's like very, very American. I mean, it's the Midwest, but it could have been Connecticut. It could have been anything in New York outside of the city. Any suburb, any suburban area. That's why I think it went so well. Great movie. But just the way it was written, it was just freaking brilliant. The point of view was brilliant. Exactly, because everybody was a kid once, I mean, really, it was about Christmas, but it was so much about being a little kid, and especially a little kid in winter that gets bad winters. Oh yeah, there too. Easily. Everybody could relate to that. And that's why I wanted Richard to see it, because I figured even though he grew up in Ireland, there's enough there just being a kid. You could still be the kid along with Ralphie, you know? And now, I have not seen it since the divorce. After the divorce, there was a whole shitload of movies that were my favorite movies, but they were also favorite because Glenn and I watched them together for years. And, you know, every Christmas we had our stack of Christmas movies, Halloween had our Halloween movies, even Thanksgiving we had a couple of Thanksgiving movies. So we had stuff that was like we saved all year. So Halloween, we got our stack of, you know, Elvira's boobies and things like that. Oh my goodness, there you are. Hi. Right, right. Oh no, I shot my eye out. And of course, I did wear glasses from 3rd grade on, so I was Ralphie's age, you know, when all that stuff was kind of real for me too. So, Agnes, how's the school? I've got to yell, you're further away. How's school out in the wilderness? Your husband gives you a just casual hi. Yeah, if you were down south, it would be hey. Up here we say hay is for horses, as I was recently reminded after I said hey. I grew up with the hi. You say hi or hello. You never say hey. But that's the only reason up here that they say you never say hey is because the South, everyone in the South says hey. Hi. Hey. Oh, wonderful. Hey, I just want to let you know, Sizzle lost Ferdinand. He passed away a couple days ago. Carol! Oh my God! Hi! I've already been on for over 2 hours, so I'm just sitting here. I've been working on this. This is a background for Toblerina's. This is going to be a calendar page. Her costume's in the other room, but it's hilarious. She has a long black wig. I made her sunglasses, pink sunglasses with gilding. I got a crystal I hung up here, and I got a shirt that has to be washed, a beautiful scarf that looks really good that I actually got to go with the black top. I got a handful of paintbrushes that cost about, altogether, I got 16, about 20 little brushes for doing fine details. They're disposable, but it was like $2.25 for all of these brushes. There's no way I could have gotten something here that would have been its equal for that price. Even if you get one good brush out of all of that, it's worth $2 for sure. Team Yui, Mew, and Bob. Oh, that's cute. I like that. Oh, I gotta show you what I got. There was something I got that's awesome. It was like my favorite thing so far, actually. It's ridiculous how happy this makes me, but this is a USB chargeable LED light, and it's ridiculously useful for me because my night table, there's no outlets right next to me that aren't already full of other things. So this like weighs nothing, and because it doesn't have wires attached, I can bring it out here when I need highlights for painting, or I could put it on my nightstand. So like I'm like this was like under $3, and I'm absolutely thrilled with it. It's worth way more to me now. It's so useful. Overall, I would say Temu is good if you know Chinese merchandise. If you are familiar with things like dresses, I got a nice dress. I got exactly what I was expecting, better than Walmart quality, way better actually than Walmart quality in terms of its hemming. It was finished much better than stuff I've gotten in Walmart for the same price. And then the thing is, like, it's black long sleeve. I need something to cover me up for the sun. But the inside is white, so it's like the fabric was printed on one side. So the fabric is a white knit, and then it was printed with black and this beautiful geometric pattern on the bottom. I know, I love it. So I did very well. But see, I have an advantage over a lot of people. If you didn't do what I did, then you could buy crap. You have to read the descriptions really carefully. And then do the close-up look of anything that's fabric. I mean, literally anything. Just look at the close-ups because you know what's well made. Now, when I used to be kind of bummed out, I would take $20 and I would do the penny auctions on eBay. So $20 goes a long way with penny auctions. Plus, it entertained me for a few hours or a few days sometimes. It was a penny auction, you know, free shipping. I got a lot of stuff from China, and I learned how to match these things up. So I'm saved a lot of money just by getting the close-up look. Says, nope, I know what's gonna happen to that material. I know what that's gonna look like. And then some stuff is just like, you know, fools you. But yeah, I'm really happy with that dress, and I got some belts. I had 0 belts to my name, no belts at all. It's like I'm tired of being schlumpy, you know, so I got a few cheap belts. The most expensive belt was $2.50. Just wrap around stuff, you know. I got a basic fake leather black one and a couple of wraparound soft fake leathers. It is exactly. As a matter of fact, but this is different in that they have a warehouse in Illinois, and that's where it's shipped from. That's why it doesn't take 30 days. So that's why they also have certain limitations of what they have in stock. They're not doing it direct from the plant. They've got a way to get it from the plant in China. But so far it's been exactly what I expected. And so I feel like I've done well. Where I did not do well was I got a couple of sample size bottles of patchouli oil and vanilla oil. And although it is definitely really patchouli, it's not a high quality. It's nasty. So that was only $2 too, or $2.50 for a very nice little package. So I might send those back. I don't know. I mean, again, you know, it's like, is it worth it? If they give me a label to send it back for free shipping, then yeah, I'll stick it in an envelope and get it back to them. But it's definitely the new Wish, only faster delivery. And if they don't make their delivery date, you get a $5 credit, which at Wish goes far. I mean, Temu goes far. How are you, honey? Well, you're at work, so hopefully you're getting ready to go home. But I'd say it's worth looking at Temu just to entertain yourself. And some of their dresses, they're well made enough for casual stuff you're going to wear out back of the house, or, you know, lounging in the living room, that kind of thing. Definitely affordable, and actually a step up from Walmart. And they've got some designs that I've never seen at a Walmart kind of a thing. So I've got one more dress coming from a different company. I'm doing a comparison thing. It's actually exactly like I just got. Same style, exactly. Black, like that. But the decoration looks like I painted it, splattering the paint all over it. Oh, right, okay. 5:55 p.m. here. So do you have a minute? I'll show you my paintings. I'll show you my etchings, only you don't have to come over. I have, I was wondering, I'm going to a gallery that has invited me to display my work. And I was trying to figure out what I'm going to do for a portfolio. And then this fell out of the closet as I was pondering, what am I going to do? And it's my, it's just my laptop, but it's like brand new. It's in excellent condition. Let me show you what I've been messing around with. Not the stuff on the walls. When I have leftover paint from one painting that I intend to do, I put the leftover paint on smaller canvas and turn them into other things. Oh no. Yeah, you need to retire, honey. You deserve it. Excuse me. I can't hold this much liquid. Oh, getting ready for my procedure on Wednesday. So yeah, that's skyline or city skyline, cityscape. And that started as a splash splash painting. This is prehistoric. The jellyfish are a little harder to see, but prehistoric hook and fish. So when are you thinking of retiring? What's you don't have to stay, do you? So here's my angels. Let me get rid of that. Okay, that's the first one. Angel emerging from the dark. And then I finally finished this one. Gathering of light. I'm really happy with both of these. And the third one I'm still working on. I have some smaller canvas I'm experimenting on before I completely commit to the bigger canvas, because I've set down the base for it. So there's going to be more energy here, but after doing all of that layout, I have to be really careful not to screw it up. And this is last night's splash of color, and then today I just added silhouetted trees and stuff, but that's going to be fleshed out. So I'm having fun. And we've got a couple of the practicing strokes for the next one, and this one is, whoops, upside down. This one has an angel over here, and then there's another angel here that it's not distinct enough yet for you to see. So I just love this stuff down here. Oh God, dental work. Yeah, I have to make an appointment, and I have been procrastinating because I really don't want to add to my bills right now. It's really nice not to be carrying a huge amount of debt So I want to keep it that way. Oh, Justin, I'm sorry, I was rude. Justin and Charlie. Carol is my friend from the 1980s. We've known each other a very long time. She works with wildlife. Well, I'm glad you could stop in and chat before I have to go. Excuse me. But tomorrow is my clear liquid day, preparing for Wednesday morning. So I'm not going to be on, and I'll probably just be camping out in the other room. I know, honey. I love you too, Carol. Thank you so much for stopping in. I'm glad you could. Feel good. I have little emoticons to show my love. All right, Charlie, thanks for hanging out. Justin and mystery person lurking in the background. Is that you, Oink? Yeah, I have to go and, I don't know, eat some Jell-O or something. We'll see what I can do tomorrow. I'm going to try and be here until the afternoon when I start taking pills. And then I probably won't be on at all. But as soon as I have recovered from everything on Wednesday, I expect to see you on Thursday. Yep, I'm going to take it easy. I'm going to go watch something funny while I'm doing something else. Yeah, it'll be like that kind of a night. So love you guys.